standing before you this morning. Let me share a little secret with you. This is a technical certificate I received 2 years ago. Many of you will, of course, receive degrees and certificates very much like this one. But I don't want to draw your attention to the front. I want to draw it to an often overlooked portion, to what's printed on the back. Can you see it? You didn't know they printed something on the back? They always print a story on the back. No, it's not that story from English Common 1 where your professor looked at you and went, "Do you know the meaning of a comma splice?" But it is a story that you wrote. Each of our stories will be as unique as our individual personalities. For one graduate, the story will read, she began her college career 42 years ago. She can remember being in a biology lab the day Dr. King was shot, and what it felt like as she watched all the black students move to this side of the room and all the white students move to the other. But in her time at Southwest, she found herself with a more diverse student body, sitting side by side with African Americans, Asian Americans, European Americans, Latino Americans, and more. But now, there was no divide. Just students chasing the dream of college education. Another will read, after she crossed the halfway mark of completing her degree, she was hit by a drunk driver. An accident that was this close to killing her. Fighting pain day in and day out, she had to balance caring for her child that requires 24-hour supervision, balancing her career and her school. She has had to wear braces on both legs ever since, but she was determined not to let anything stand between her and her diploma. Lastly, let me tell you my story. I was a newly elected regional president of my honor society that let my grades slip and found myself falling from that mountaintop of leadership much faster than I even made the climb. I can remember sitting in my advisor's office, absolutely frustrated, when she took her diploma down, turned it over, and read me a story of the time she was in college and attended a conference, where the speaker then took her diploma down and turned it over, and told the story of the time she was in college and went into a restaurant, about to get into the pressures of college life and carry out her plan of killing herself. Instead, she found herself clinging to a stall door. The lesson learned by my professor was the same as the one that I learned. Sometimes during difficult moments of life, we just have to hold on to that stall door. Can you see the story now? If you still can't, I know why. Because my story, just like your story, we've written in the sweat and sometimes the tears that went into earning that degree certificate. Some parts will be covered in the coffee stains where you dropped your cup as you crammed for that last final. Other parts will be covered in crayons where your child decided that your homework made a good coloring book. But what's printed on the back will not be a thing unless you remember to turn it over. For those of you transferring over from your institutions, turn it over during the week where you're trying to find time to study for 4 finals. And read it mid-semester when you're trying to decide whether or not you should drop that class. For those of you that are entering the workforce, turn it over and read it when project deadlines are rapidly approaching. There's just not enough time today to finish all of your tasks. Or maybe read it when you just don't get that promotion that you deserve. In 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months from now, most of you won't remember 5 words that I've said. But when life has gotten tough, and you hit one of those brick walls, and you can't figure out how you're going to go around it, go over it, or get through it, just remember these 3. Turn it over. Thank you. She's been named one of Tennessee's 100 most powerful people